I am Aligar Lingappa, Assistant Professor in Physics, Government First Grade College, Sirguppa. Today's my chapter is optical fibers. So now I will discuss about total internal reflection. So total internal reflection is an optical phenomenon. So based on the phenomenon of a refraction and a reflection. So we know that the phenomenon of a refraction, the phenomenon of bending of light when it travels from one transparent medium to another transparent medium. So the transparent media that can be classified into two types, so called a rarer medium and then the denser medium. If you take the pair of media, say air and water, the density of water is greater than the density of air medium. So the water is a denser medium and air is a rarer medium. Similarly, if we take another pair of media, say water and glass, where glass is denser medium because of the density of the glass is greater than the density of the water medium. Water is rarer medium, glass is denser medium. Water is denser medium when compared to air medium. The same water is so rarer medium when compared to glass medium. So that means based on that the transparent media they can be classified into two types, so called rarer media and then the denser medium. When a ray of light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, the refracted ray which bends towards the normal such that the angle of incidence is greater than the angle of refraction. Similarly, if suppose the ray of light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, the refracted ray which bends away from the normal, in that case, the angle of incidence is less than the angle of refraction. So, whatever the surface, say interface or refracting surface, the surface which is separating the two media. When a ray of light travels or light passes from an optically denser to a rarer medium, the refracted ray bends away from the normal. Therefore, the angle of refraction is greater than the angle of incidence. At the same time, there is a weak reflection. As the angle of incidence increases, the angle of refraction also increases. The intensity of a reflected ray increases while that of refracted ray decreases. For a particular angle of incidence, the angle of refraction becomes 90 degrees and the refracted ray grazes the surface of separation of two media as shown in the below diagram. I will show in the next slide. So then this angle of incidence is known as the critical angle and is defined for a pair of media. So just to see the diagram, the light from the source which travels from a denser medium to rarer medium, where the horizontal line which indicates the interface, which is separating the two media such as rarer medium and denser medium, where the dotted vertical line that indicates normal. When a ray of light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, then the refracted ray which bends deviates away from the normal. In this case, the angle of incidence is less than the angle of refraction. So as the angle of incidence increases, the angle of refraction is also increases such that at a particular angle of incidence, the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. So then the corresponding angle of incidence is known as a critical angle. If the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, then there is no refraction of light. The entire incident light which gets reflected back to the same medium. So such a phenomenon is known as total internal reflection. So now you see the diagram. Let us consider a ray of light is incident normal to the interface such that which travels along the same straight line without a deviation, because for normal incidence no refraction of light, no bending of light, the incident light which travels along the same straight line where the angle of incidence becomes 0, the angle of refraction is also equal to 0. Let here N1 is the refractive index of the denser medium, N2 is the refractive index of the rarer medium. Then let us consider another ray of light is incident obliquely on the interface. Let theta I or I be the angle of incidence, theta 2 the angle of refraction. Here theta 2 is greater than the theta 1 because the ray of light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, then the refracted ray which bends away from the normal. As the angle of incidence increases, the angle of refraction is also increases such that the refracted ray which bends more and more towards the interface. So let us consider another ray of light is incident obliquely on the interface such that the angle of incidence that must be equal to theta c. The angle of refraction becomes 90 degree such that the refracted ray which grazing the interface, then the corresponding angle of incidence is known as a critical angle. Further, as the angle of incidence increases, the angle of refraction is also increased. That means further as the angle of incidence increases, if the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, then there is no refraction of light. The entire incident light which gets reflected back to the same medium, to the denser medium, such a phenomenon is known as total internal reflection. That means when a ray of light travels from a denser medium to rarer medium, if the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, then there is no refraction of light. The entire incident light which gets reflected back to the denser medium, such a phenomenon is known as a total internal reflection. So you see the definition of total internal reflection. When a ray of light travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, such that the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle, then the entire incident light gets reflected back to the denser medium. This phenomenon is known as a total internal reflection. Then what is a critical angle? When a ray of light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree, such that the refracted ray grazing the interface, then the corresponding angle of incidence is known as a critical angle. That means when a ray of light travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree is known as a critical angle. At the point of critical angle where the refracted ray which is grazing the interface. Then what are the conditions for total internal reflections? So that means the condition we must need for the total internal reflection. So first one, the ray of light must travel from an optically denser to a rarer medium. The angle of incidence in the optically denser medium must be greater than the critical angle for the given pair of media. So, the ray of light must travel from an optically denser to a rarer medium. That is the first condition for total internal reflection. Then the angle of incidence in the optically denser medium must be greater than the critical angle for the given pair of media. So that means the critical angle is different for different pair of media. If we take the pair of media such as air and water, or maybe water and glass, or maybe air and glass, or maybe glass and diamond, you take any pair of media. So where the critical angle is different for different pair of media. The total internal reflection is not possible when a ray of light travels from rarer medium to denser medium. So, the total internal reflection is not possible for a ray of light traveling from an optically rarer medium to denser medium. So, this is because the refracted ray bends towards the normal for all angles of incidence. Even if I is equal to 90 degree, so there will be less than I. Thus, the ray gets refracted and can never undergo total internal reflection. So, that means the ray of light should not undergo a total internal reflection when it travels from a rarer medium to denser medium. So that the conditions for total internal reflection. So now let us discuss about the relation between critical angle and refractive index. Let us consider two media, say denser medium and then the rarer medium. The density of denser medium is greater than the density of the rarer medium. The velocity of light is lesser in denser medium when compared to the velocity of light in a rarer medium. So that both rarer medium and denser medium, they are separated by the interface, so called refracting surface. Let here the horizontal line may be AB with the surface separating the two media of refractive indices N1 and N2. Where N1 is the refractive index of the denser medium, N2 is the refractive index of the rarer medium. So always the density of the rarer medium, denser medium is greater than the density of the rarer medium. The density of the denser medium is greater than the density of the density of the denser medium is greater than the density of the rarer medium, so that the refractive index of the denser medium is greater than the refractive index of the rarer medium. Say air and water, where the refractive index of air is 1, the refractive index of water is 1.33. So let us consider another pair of media, say water and glass. The refractive index of water is 1.33, the refractive index of glass is from 1.5 to 1.65. If you take another pair of media, glass and diamond, the refractive index of glass varies from 1.5 to 1.65, whereas the refractive index of diamond is 2.4, such that the diamond is denser medium, glass is rarer medium. So N1 is greater than N2. Let us see with the critical angle for a pair of media. Let us consider the ray of light is incident on the interface, so which undergoes refraction such that the angle of incidence must be equal to critical angle. Then the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. Then the refracted ray which grazing the interface as shown in the diagram. So then here from the triangle or here the angle of incidence I that must be equal to critical angle, and angle of refraction R that should be equal to 90 degree. Applying Snell's law, so we have two laws, first law of refraction, second law of refraction. Then what about the statement of first law of refraction? The incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal drawn to the interface all lie in the same plane. That means the statement of first law of refraction. Then the second law of refraction. The second law of refraction is also known as Snell's law. The statement of second law of refraction is the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is a constant for a given pair of media and for a given wavelength of light. So that constant is known as a refractive index of the medium. So sin A by sin R is equal to N12. So based on that, that means according to Snell's law, second law of refraction, we have N1 sin I is equal to N2 sin R. We get sin N1 sin C is equal to N2 sin 90 degree. So then where sin 90 is equal to 1, then we will get sin C which is equal to N2 by N1. Sin C is equal to N2 by N1 means the refractive index of rarer medium to the refractive index of denser medium. Where N2 is the refractive index of rarer medium, N1 is the refractive index of the denser medium. When the rarer medium is air or vacuum, then N1 is equal to N and N2 is equal to 1. Then sin C is equal to 1 by N or N is equal to 1 by sin C. So called the relation between refractive index and the critical angle. So N is equal to 1 by sin C. So the critical angle is constant for a given pair of media, but which is different for different pair of media. Critical angle is different for different pair of media. So similarly, as the wavelength increases, the refractive index decreases, the critical angle increases. The critical angle is highest for red and least for violet. That means the critical angle will depend on the wavelength of incident light. So now let us discuss about the applications of total interreflection. So the following are the some of the applications of total interreflections. A sparkling of brilliance of diamond, thus is due to total interreflection. Shining of air bubble in water. So another example for a total interreflection, where air bubble in the water which appears like a bright sphere. So that is due to total interreflection. Shining of empty test tube in water. So because of the total interreflection, mirage formation in the desert. So based on total interreflection, then twinkling of stars and optical fibers. So sparkling or brilliance of diamond, shining of air bubbles in water, shining of empty test tube in water, mirage formation in desert, twinkling of the stars, optical fibers. These are all the applications of that means illustrations for total internal reflections. So now you see some of the examples for your devices are based on or phenomenon or illustrations are based on total internal reflections. So the total internal reflections in case of optical fibers. Usually the optical fibers, they are used in our daily life for decorative purposes, in case of medical field, to transmit information from one place to another place, and so on. And the second one, so how the mirrors formed in the desert. So mirrors formation in the desert, that is due to so-called total internal reflection. So then the third one, optical fiber. So that means how the information which transmit through an optical fiber in the form of light energy. So then the next diagram that indicates the brightness shining of diamond, so called, that is due to total internal reflection. So these are the figures which indicates that means all they are based on total internal reflections. So thank you. So in this class we discussed about total internal reflection. What are the conditions for total internal reflections? How the total internal reflection which takes place. Then what is refraction? Then what about the first law of refraction and the second law of refraction? The relation between the critical angle and the refractive index. Then illustrations for the total internal reflections and so on. Thank you.